actually being really big in the gym doesn't matter. I actually just want to be very, very healthy.
And they're like 12 years old. You don't need to put anything on your face.
Or you go for it. You just go into the unknown to expose yourself to it.
I know how to talk to girls.
Just a little bit every now and then. He's a paedophile.
No.
Surely you just talk to them. I don't understand how you can
Talk to them like your mate. Embracing getting old instead of trying to look young. Do you think a lot of people nowadays all trying to look young, dress young? Oh no, I'm getting wrinkles, my hair's turning grey, better diet, better get plastic surgery.
Yeah.
I think you should embrace getting older. People constantly, I find people constantly saying, oh no, I'm getting old, I'm old. You're like 20. I have a lot of people I work with, a few people I've worked with have gone, I'm like 25 now, I'm getting old. Bro, you're not old at all, you're still young as fuck. Like 25 is not old. 26, 25, I mean what are you?
25.
You're 25, there you go. Do you feel old?
No.
You're a perfect example then. Like, bro.
I feel pretty good. I feel better than I've felt. I feel better now at 25 than I did when I was 19. When I was 19, I felt like I was getting old. And then when I hit 22, I suddenly like got this second wind of.
I'm not scared. I used to be scared of getting old, but now I'm not scared of getting old. I think I'm almost looking forward to it. That transition of becoming wiser and becoming more experiences. As long as you keep yourself healthy and, you know, hopefully you don't end up with anything, you know, then...
If you live a very healthy lifestyle, I think you look better at 35.
Yeah.
Especially as a man than you did when you were 21.
Yeah.
When you're 21, you don't really take care of yourself enough in terms of health-wise. And then as you get to like my age now, 25, I've had this sudden like epiphany since I hit 25 of like actually being really big in the gym doesn't matter. I actually just want to be very, very healthy.
Healthy, fit.
I find a
Being
healthy weight
isn't necessarily healthy.
It's not healthy at all.
Is it? You're restricted.
When I was at my biggest, I was eating a lot more sugar than I eat now. I was drinking a lot more protein shakes. I don't drink any protein shakes. No, the only thing I take is creatine. And I was eating a lot of sugar, and I had a lot more spots on my back.
Really?
Yeah, I would get more spots on my face.
You think it's sugar?
I felt tired more often, but I was fucking strong. Like at 19, I was really strong for 19.
Yeah.
And now I'm just kind of, I've not really lost a hell of a lot of strength. I would say I'm not as strong as I was then.
Yeah.
But it's deliberate. It's not because I'm getting older. It's because I've changed how I train. I've changed how I eat. I want to be able to run better. I can run a lot better than I could then. And I feel a lot healthier than I did when I was then. I have like no spots on my back. Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, we've also got the reason why a lot of people are trying to look younger nowadays is because there's a lot of marketing. People make a lot of money. Like cosmetic companies make a hell of a lot of money out of people wanting to look younger than they are, and also that technology's grown and the availability for procedures and stuff is a lot more available now than it was, 20 years ago. And I guess that's it. And then if everyone else is getting it, it's becoming more normal as well for people to get cosmetic stuff.
Definitely in the last 10 years, it's become cosmetic, skincare. It's become a massive like thing now.
There's dudes
Everyone
doing
does skincare.
Fucking men doing skincare.
Yeah, and there's
that was like unheard of.
There's teenage girls online on TikTok. Get ready with me in my skincare routine. And they do like 10 steps of skincare routine, and they're like 12 years old. You don't need to put anything on your face. Your skin's perfectly fine, right? Not that I watch. This is what my girlfriend's telling me, and my girlfriend told me that this is something that she watched. She said that this guy, this like skin, I don't know what they're called, this doctor or whatever, was saying that these shit they're putting on their face that young is causing more harm than good. It's going to give them more wrinkles when they get older. Their skin is perfectly fine. It's still adapting. It's still growing. They shouldn't be touching their skin at all. They don't have spots that young. You know, it's only when they start going through puberty you get spots and stuff. At that young, there's no need to do skincare. Your skin is literally, it's gonna look as good as it's gonna get at that young.
They
Anyway,
put like acid on their face.
there you go. You put all these serums and shit. Which,
Alcoholic.
yes, as you get
paste
older,
and stuff.
and you know you need to clean your skin and whatever. Like I put a fair few things on my face to try keep it maintain
Yeah, it's good.
blemishes and stuff. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I've been trying. I'm really trying. Yeah, fucking. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that brings back to embracing. That almost links to embracing getting older, doesn't it?
Mm. Do you think that
And
massively?
embrace being young.
Yeah.
I suppose. Why you? Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of fucking TikTok, like girls generally look older nowadays because they have more access to older people. When I was younger, the only way of seeing what older kids were doing was through my sister. She's 25 now. She's 4 years older than me, or whatever, 4 years older, and that was the only way. I look at her and what she's doing with her friends. I'm like, oh wow, that's what people that age are doing. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like now, kids can literally see that on their phone, TikTok, swiping, all of that. They can see what people are doing. They can see what the trends are. They can see how to dress like an older person. All these young kids are dressing like older people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wild. That's why people just look older nowadays. Yeah, man.
So you've got the dichotomy of
Enjoy
the two
being a
things.
kid. Play with Lego, bro. Don't watch fucking. Play with like how many kids now do you think are gonna grow up not playing with toys and just playing on their iPad? Most of them, right?
Most kids don't even
Go out in a restaurant. How do you keep a kid entertained? They've got an iPad in their face. I see that all the time.
I wasn't allowed that at all. I was allowed to bring like a Lego man.
Yeah. Some
Or whatever.
figures and some.
And I'd be sort of sat there, and when I got bored, just get a Lego man out and be like jumping on the table and like
Yeah, playing with your toys.
hiding behind the water glass because there's like
Yeah.
enemies here, and then pretending he's like
Yeah.
shooting at people.
That's how you develop your creativeness. Creativity.
That was peak entertainment when I was
peak.
when I was
But it
7.
was
sat
fun
there.
as fuck. I
Yeah.
remember when I used to go on a holiday, I used to bring a figure with me. I used to make up this story in my head like he's making a mission to go to a different
Yeah,
country.
I used to
to
do
get
that.
him in my bag, I used to carry him, sit on the plane. I used to have him on the plane, like hiding on the plane, like he's gonna get on a mission to fly to a different country to complete an operation, then he's gonna fly back to the UK. Like, bro, my mind was like spinning with all these fucking ideas and shit. What, kids are just gonna be brain
Imagine
dead
that.
when they're older, like surely on their laptop, on their on their fucking iPads watching this shit, all these shit programs.
Yeah, I've heard some scary stories about what kids are like now. Like just fucking basically retarded without actually being retarded.
Yeah.
They're just normal kids, but they've been turned into retards because of the iPads.
For real.
You
For
have
real.
to say that on YouTube.
Probably not, but we're gonna move on. Comparison is a thief of joy. I think links to what we was just saying. As well as embrace being old, embrace being yourself. Because you keep comparing yourself to others. I need to dress this way, I need to look this way, I need to act this way. It's stealing your happiness. Stealing it away from you. You don't
Yeah.
realize you're unique. You're fully unique for a reason. You need to embrace being who you are. I struggle with that a lot. I'll happily admit I'm constantly comparing myself to others. I need to do this, I need to do that. What are these people doing? I'm this age, I need to do that. But I try my hardest not to listen to anyone telling me, oh, you're 21, you need to be in uni right now. You need to do this, you need to be studying. Then to just like, everyone's got their own path, man, and their own way of doing things. There's no textbook. This is, you need to do this, and this, and then this, and then this. That's what school will tell you. You need to do these certain things and then you'll become successful. That's not the way.
It gives you one path.
Exactly
Really.
one path, and they say if you don't do it this way, you're going to be miserable and old and have no money and be sad. That's not the way necessarily. Yes, you could stumble down that path and you could really fuck up your life, right? That is a possibility. Not saying everything's going to be happy rainbows and flowers and shit. Yes, it could go down that path, but man, you've got to keep yourself on track and have some wit about you and you'll be okay, you know? Not everything's going to be sadness and they want to scare you when you're younger. I think they want to scare you. Big wide world is, you know, so scary. Do this and do that. I found out it's not too bad. The world's not too bad. It is quite scary.
Sometimes it's only as scary as you make it. And what's our biggest, like, when you look at the natural fears that humans have, one of the biggest ones is fear of the unknown. So therefore, how do you prevent yourself from having that fear? Well, you go for it. You just go into the unknown to expose yourself to it. And then if you do that enough times, nothing actually ends up scaring you, because it's like, well, I'm going into this unknown situation. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the end result's going to be. But I've done this so many times with this situation. I'm not afraid of going into the unknown anymore. And it could be a completely different thing, but it's just, sometimes it's so good to go into the unknown as much as possible.
I think you really need to sit in that feeling. When you've got that feeling of nervousness in the unknown, you need to really embrace the feeling that you have from that, and almost become comfortable with the being not comfortable, you know? Being comfortable with not being comfortable. I think we could write that down somewhere.
Yeah.
And because then you're adapted to the feeling of being uncomfortable, and then you can handle it better in nervous situations.
Yeah.
And then you can be more relaxed, and you know.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I hate situations where I have to like speak publicly. It doesn't happen very often, but if I have to speak to a front of a room full of people or something. I mean, there's that saying in it, picture everyone naked, which I've never understood. I don't get that. Picture everyone naked, what's that about? That sounds a bit perverted to me. What if you're talking in front of a load of kids? That's just wrong. You can't picture everyone naked, is it? That's tact.
That's what Jimmy Savile used to give talks at schools.
There you go.
That's exactly what he was like. They asked him, Jimmy, how did you get over the nervousness of going into public speaking?
There you go.
I just imagine everyone naked. And it's like a bunch of fucking kids. He's a paedophile. Nonce. Not good. That's not good advice.
That's not good advice. I don't get that advice. It's a bit weird to me. What if you're?
That makes me more nervous. Why is everyone fucking naked?
Exactly.
What kind of situation am I in?
That's not really something you want to look at, really, is it? Especially if everyone's not like, it's a room full of like unattractive, obese people.
You go to an old
you don't really want
to.
Yeah, old people home. You're speaking it. Oh, bro. Okay. Right. Back to the point. That's a shit saying. I don't like that saying.
Fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm speaking in front of, I try to picture no one's real. That's what I tell myself. I tell myself no one's real. I think I've said this before.
Yeah, you said this
episode.
before.
I try to picture everyone's fake. No one's real. I'm the main character. I just tell myself I'm the main character. No one's real. This simulation. Just talk. And that tends to kind of help.
Yeah. I feel like I think of something kind of not the same but similar. I think no one knows what they're talking about, because I get worried that I don't, especially with my job. I get worried, what if people realise I don't know what I'm talking about. But then I just think, well, no one knows what they're really talking about. And if you just view everything like that, you just end up so much calmer. And when you come across calm, you come across knowledgeable.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's comparison to other people. Like, what pretty much what you just said. You can't. See how I put this into words. Everyone is the same. You got a manager at work. You might find them scary. Oh, they're a manager. Realistic. We're all humans. We're all on the same level. Like, we're all on the same level. There's these stupid hierarchies. Yes, he's got a job. This person manages this person. Therefore, yes, you have to be sensible. You have to listen to what they say. You know, maybe do what they say. But don't be scared of people. Don't be scared. We're all on the same level. And then people might try to act like they're better than you because I'm the manager of this. You're underneath me. We're all the same. All the same. So don't compare yourself to the guy that's above you and think, oh, he's scared of him. He's just a human being.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mike Thurston said this. I watched a podcast. Said, don't buy into the enough. Don't buy into the not enough. So saying you're not enough all the time. You're about to do something. You're about to go into an interview and you're saying, oh, I can't do this, I'm not enough. You gotta tell yourself you can. You gotta constantly coach yourself through stuff and say, I am enough. I can do this. A bit like what we've done with the podcast. We thought, fuck it, let's just do this and see where it takes us.
Yeah.
You gotta just do things and see where you end up. Action. You gotta take action.
It's such good advice, and I think everyone kind of naturally thinks they're not good enough, especially when they first start something. They're thinking, oh, this person's really good at this. Well, sometimes people have been doing it for years, and they just become second nature to them. When you're like just going in, just new, you're not going to know. And just thinking, it doesn't matter, just go for it. It's such good advice, because I think how many people are held back just purely off the feeling of, I'm not good enough, I don't know enough yet, I'm not sure. Well, I bet Elon Musk wasn't sure when he decided to make an electric car. He's like, no one's making electric cars, they don't sell. Well, I'm going to just fucking have a go.
Do it anyway.
Got all this money from PayPal, because Elon Musk helped develop PayPal, and that's how he got all of his money from Tesla and the other things. And then built up from there. Yeah, that's like good first. But he must have, imagine trying to like convince a bunch of people, I'm going to make electric cars, I'm going to make them a thing. Like, no one was really buying electric cars until Elon started doing it.
Exactly.
I don't know why people buy electric cars that aren't Teslas. What's the point?
Yeah, no one does it better than Teslas,
but it's an
really.
electric BMW.
Especially when a lot of them are either the same price as Teslas or more than Teslas. I suppose if you're getting an electric car, get the best. You know what I mean? Get
Yeah,
Tesla.
yeah.
At least then it's
The
a bit
OG,
tasteful.
the OG.
Yeah,
Good electric cars.
yeah. Although I wouldn't pick a Tesla.
No, I wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
I don't
if I
want
had
an
money,
electric car.
if I how much a Tesla is, like 60, 70, 80 grand for like the, you know, Model S's or whatever. Like,
Yeah. Do you know what? The
At that
cheapest ones
money,
are about
I would
40k.
are they?
He's made them fairly affordable to most people.
Well, if I had 40k, I would not buy a Tesla. Let's put it that way.
I like Elon, but
I like Elon, he's sick. Yeah, humans are wired to do things, find connection and avoid rejection. It's very true.
Right, let's unpack that. So humans are wired to, first of all, what's the first thing?
Find connection.
Find connection. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we're constantly trying to find a meaning. Find what's my meaning to life?
Yeah, or
What am
find
I
our
supposed to
people.
do? What's my people? What I'm supposed to do here? What am I born for? All that stuff. We are constantly trying to find connection, whether that's in people, in jobs, in places, in countries,
Relationships.
all of it.
Pets.
Anything. Connection is what makes you happy. Connection to culture, connection to food. Connection is everything, man. Connection to the internet. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
connection. And the other one was avoid rejection, which is true. No one wants to be rejected.
It's a massive thing, actually, that we want to avoid rejection. Sometimes it can really hold you back. The fact that you really want it, you do anything to avoid rejection, and that's why a lot of people don't take a lot of leaps in life. Is because
I suppose that's the
because
core of it, really, isn't it?
But it's because they're wired to avoid that rejection. So even if it's like, okay, in this scenario, best case scenario, you this girl and this 10 out of 10 becomes your long-term girlfriend. You have kids with her.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, she says no, rejects you, or tells you to fuck off. Right. Out of those situations, how bad is the worst case scenario? It's not really that bad.
No.
It's not going to be life changing. It's not going to end your life.
No.
But then the best case scenario is changing your life for the better.
Like one
But then we're
little
so
decision,
wired
yeah.
to avoid that rejection that we will just say no. I'm not going to go speak to her. I'm not going to ask her this. I'm not going to do that. Which is true, because I know I fucking get it. Like when you're trying to talk to like a good-looking girl, you have this thing in your head of like, oh, if I say this wrong, it's like, what can you even fucking say wrong? But you just have that feeling in your
You've got to calm
head.
yourself down, and you've got to really like think, right, this is just again another person.
That's the biggest
I
thing.
can just
yeah.
speak to them the way I speak to any other person. It's just they look a bit better. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
They're fortunate that they look a bit better than this other person, and I speak to this other person perfectly fine.
Yeah.
This one intimidates me because they were born this way.
Yeah.
You know.
There's all these
Anyway.
all this like game and like how to talk to women. Like people who sell like courses on how to talk to women. It's like,
What a joke.
just
that is.
fucking talk. Just surely you just talk to them. I don't understand how you can talk. any
Talk to
differently.
them like your mate.
And
Like,
whenever
talk to them like a boy.
Yeah, and whenever you get like a geezer who's
Like-
talking to girls differently how he talks to everyone else, he ends up just being a bit of a weirdo. Everyone-
You come across creepy, man. If
Yeah.
you're all like trying to be all seductive and like, oh yeah, he's fucking weird, to be honest.
You just talk to them normal and sprinkle a little bit of that in.
Yeah. Little flirtatious, little
Just
something,
like you
something.
go from like you could go a good hour of just yeah you're right talking normally, and then just every now and then throw in that little comment or a little joke or whatever.
That makes them think. Do you mean to say that?
See,
Do
we
you know
should,
what I mean?
right, we're fucking selling a course on how to talk to
We should make a course, bro.
girls. It'd be 5-minute course of just fucking talk to them normally,
Talk
and
to
then
them like
be like,
anyone
oh,
else.
you can maybe say this and that, little sprinkles in of jokes and stuff. Done.
Yeah, I feel like that's been my.
We'll sell that. We'll make money off that.
We will.
'Cause it'll work.
We'll make T-shirts. What would the T-shirt say? I know how to talk to girls.
Yeah, imagine walking up to someone like that.
Yeah, imagine that. Wouldn't that, if you wore that in the club,
And just go around that.
girls will come
Hiya,
up to
you
you,
alright? You see this?
be like,
Boom.
you know how to talk to girls? Boom. Girls are coming up to you because your T-shirt says, I know how to talk to girls.
That's
I think
never
it could
gonna work.
I
That's
think it
never
could
gonna
work.
work.
That will work.
Ugh.
That will work. Trust me. Maybe not. But
That's funny.
what's another?
So, yeah, it's crazy how we just wired that.
Yeah. I got one other point I made, which is kind of not really related to the others. It's just we've forgotten the art of conversation, which is, I guess you could tie it into what we just spoken about, talking to people. Just talk. We got to just talk to people more. Constantly looking down on your phone all the time. And that's how you get more confident with talking to people. Like we're just talking about girls. If you talk to more people, throw compliments around, even if you don't find attractiveness in someone. Blokes, if you're not like, I know like a couple months ago there was a guy in my Sainsbury's, and I don't know if I said this before, but I'm quite into fashion, and this guy was wearing a cool tracksuit. I said, oh bro, that's a cool tracksuit. And he went, oh thank you man, I really appreciate that. He walked off. Boom. I'm just talking to a randomer. I'm just trying to say something so that confidence, so I can just speak to a random guy I've never met before, never known, whatever. And it's just it's the small things, it's small steps. So when I really need to speak to people I've never met before, I'm a bit more relaxed, I'm a bit more know how to do it. Because just little interactions like that.
It's just a little thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Builds up over time. It's here we go, back to, it's like if you invest in the S&P 500
Yeah, okay, right.
and every like month you're putting a bit of money in there, it's it accumulates over time. It's exactly
Right.
the same, it works exactly the same with social interaction. Just a little bit every now and then pays dividends.
Builds.
Yeah.
Just builds a little bit, step at a time, and you're at the top, and you're a fucking G. And you
You
have
can
to
just-
speak to anyone.
Yeah. It's something that I've been really hyper focused on for the last few years, because speaking to people does not come naturally to me at all. I am super introverted.
I hate it, man.
I
I
find
hate
it so
people for
difficult.
that fact. I really, yeah.
When I was at school, I was just
I'm
like,
not a
how are
people
people
person.
doing this? How are people actually just talking to other people? I find it really hard. It just doesn't come naturally to me at
Yeah.
all. But now with my job, I'm talking to people every day.
Every
I'm talking
day.
to so many different kinds of people, and I have to be so well spoken and sound like I know what I'm talking about, and try not to stutter and try not to say and ah all the time. And it's really hard, and it's something I'm trying to focus on more and more and get better at, because
Same.
it just makes people listen to you.
Articulate yourself better. That's really what I'm the same as you, bro. I really want to do that, and I'm hoping this podcast can show a good transition between the start and
When we're like,
being able to. I still can't. I fuck up words all
Yeah.
the time. Not being able to speak properly, and then hopefully, if we do this for the next, I don't know how long, hopefully forever. By the end of it, or whatever, in a couple years' time, how I articulate myself and show the comparison. Yeah, because like you just said, it's people listen to yourself. People listen to you more if you if you sound like you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, we want it to sound like fucking Marcus Aurelius and
Do you know what I mean?
Socrates is sat here.
I want me to speak and people to pull out a notepad, start writing things I'm saying down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that would be cool.
I think my job's going to massively help with that, because there's been times where I've so I work with the ambulance service, and there's been times where we take like a patient in who's really, really unwell into hospital. And when you do that, you have to like wheel them obviously straight into this room called resus, where they're basically preparing for them to die, to then resuscitate them. So they've got all the equipment there for that. So obviously that's very, very serious. And when you go in, sometimes you'll get like 5 or 6 doctors who are all like waiting for you, and you have to stand there and tell these 6 doctors what is going on. You have to hand over, okay, this is my patient, he's this old, this is the story of what's happened today as far as we know. This is his like past medical history. And I try and do it without saying and ah. It's so hard. If I'm not really prepared myself for it, I sound fucking awful and I hate it. Like generally, no one's ever said like you fucking don't know what you're talking about. They just go, okay, cool. And like, so now I'm trying to get better at that. So every time I go in and I'm like, right,
he's got this. It's trying to not miss out anything as well, isn't it? I would be all for that. I would miss out all the details, all the important ones. I'd be like, he got a trim last week though. He gets his haircut at this place. He really likes Fanta.
Yeah.
But like,
and he's the guy's like, bro, fucking it out.
But like, I don't know what's wrong with him. Like, I'd be whack.
I'm shit at the moment, but I'm getting better at it.
Good on you, man.
And I hope that eventually it'll get to a point where. Have you ever heard of a game that people play when they go to New York, where you have to go to a restaurant and order something without them asking a question? It's a massive thing. So if you go to a restaurant in America or in New York, they'll always ask you, how do you want this done, or do you want butter on that, or do you want fries as well? And you have like, it's a game of like, you've got to say, okay, I want a full English breakfast with 2 eggs, this, no fries please, butter on the bread, medium toasted. You have to like try and list off all these things,
like
and then at the end of it, they hope they don't go. The aim is for them to go, okay, and just write it all down, and then be like, cool. But they'll always ask a question. Always, but how do you like this, or how do you like that? And it's like a thing. That's what I'm trying to do, but with
that's cool.
Trying and give so much information in such an articulate, well presented way, that when I'm handing over to these doctors, they don't have any questions by the end of it. Never done it. They've always got some sort of question that just throws me off.
Yeah, I suppose they've been doing it for a very long time.
Yeah.
They're looking for certain things.
There's so many things that they'll. But man, that doesn't necessarily mean you've done a bad job. It just means there's things that they thought of that, because they're obviously thinking to diagnose.
At the end of the day, yeah. No, I agreed, man.
But yeah, practice speaking to people. It's one of the greatest skills you can get.
Try to. I know it'd be so. I find it uncomfortable still now. Like, I can't talk to people for the life of me. But yeah, you really got to force yourself, haven't you? And then the more you try to do a little bit, just like what I said, I complimented the guy's tracksuit. Like, tiny little things here and there. We'll build that up, like we said, and build that up and make you more confident.